Good morning, aspirants. Welcome back to Daily Current Affairs Analysis by Civic Center IAS, where we shall discuss important relevant articles from the UPSC CSE Prelims context. Displayed are the articles which we'll be discussing today. Well, let's begin. The first article says that lowering India's interest rates for the first time in the last 57 months, the Monetary Policy Committee of Reserve Bank of India on Friday unanimously cut the repo rate by 25 basis points to 6.25% to support the fading growth in hope of inflation easing to 4.4% in this quarter and 4.2% through 2025-2026. Now, in this context, let's discuss briefly about the repo rate and also impact of repo rate cut. First of all, let's understand what the repo rate is. Know that the repo rate is the interest rate at which the central bank of a country, in India that is the RBI, lends money to the commercial banks. To put it simply, commercial banks borrow short-term funds from the RBI when they face a shortage of money. However, in return, these banks must pay interest at the repo rate and provide collateral, typically in the form of government securities, treasury bills or also the bonds. So, why does the repo rate matters? Well, it serves as a powerful tool in the RBI's monetary policy to regulate the liquidity, influence the inflation and drive the economic growth. In other words, by adjusting the repo rate, the RBI can either increase or decrease the money supply in the economy. Now, let's see how does this repo rate work. See, when banks borrow money from the RBI, they do so at the repo rate. That is, if the repo rate is increased, borrowing becomes more expensive, reducing the amount of money circulating in the economy. On the other hand, if repo rate is lowered, banks pay less interest on their borrowings, allowing them to offer cheaper loans to the businesses and also the individuals. Now, let's see the impact on inflation and economic growth. See, an increase in the repo rate is generally used to control the inflation by making borrowing more expensive. So, as a result, it restricts excessive money flow, which helps keeping the prices stable. On the other side, a decrease in repo rate helps stimulate the economic growth by injecting more money into the market. This means that commercial banks can lend at lower interest rates, making it easier for businesses and individuals to take loans and also to invest. Now, let's see how the repo rate affects the public borrowings. See, when the repo rate increases, commercial banks face higher cost for borrowing from the RBI, which results in higher interest rates on loans, for example, the home loans, personal loans, EMIs, etc. And also, it reduces the borrowing by individuals and businesses. So, when the repo rate decreases, it lowers the interest rates on the loans and increases the liquidity in the market. Now, coming back to the latest decision by the RBI, let's see why did the RBI cut the repo rate. First and foremost, the RBI wants to stimulate the economic growth by making loans cheaper, thereby encouraging spending and investments. Secondly, this move is expected to boost the employment opportunities as the businesses get easier access to credit for the expansion. Moreover, with inflation currently at 5.2% and expected to fall further to 4.5% in early 2025, the RBI saw room for a rate cut without immediate inflationary risk. And let's not forget, India is also aligning with the global economic trends as many central banks worldwide have adopted accommodative monetary policies to support the economic recovery. So, what happens now that the RBI has cut the repo rate? Firstly, the lending rates linked to the external benchmark and marginal cost of fund-based lending rate will come down. As a result, borrowers will see a reduction in home loan, personal loan and business loan and also the EMIs. However, there is a catch. While the lower repo rates make the borrowing cheaper, they can also increase money supply, which may push inflation higher if not managed carefully. Additionally, lower interest rates also mean that returns on saving accounts and fixed deposits might decline, making savings less attractive. Now, moving to the second article, it says that Indian Navy's biennial capstone theatre level operational exercise, that is in short TROPEX, is underway in the Indian Ocean region, in which the combined fleet comprising approximately 65 Indian Navy ships, 9 submarines and over 80 aircrafts are being put through complex maritime operational scenarios to validate and refine the Navy's concept of operations. Now, well, in this context, let's talk about the theatre level operational readiness exercise, in short, the TROPEX. See, TROPEX 25 is the Indian Navy's largest biennial maritime exercise held in the Indian Ocean region. More importantly, it involves all the three military services, that is Army, Air Force and also the Navy, and the Coast Guard, focusing on joint warfare, combat readiness and operational integration. Now, let's look at some of the key facts. Know that TROPEX has been conducted annually since the year 2005, but with the exceptions of the year 2016 and 2018. Typically, it lasts about a month at the beginning of the year. The last edition of TROPEX was conducted in the 2021, making TROPEX 25 an important comeback after the 4 years. Now, let's see the structure of TROPEX 25, which consists of three distinct phases. First is the independent workup phase, where the individual forces prepare separately for the exercise. Second, the joint workup phase, where all the forces coordinate and train together. And lastly, the tactical phase, where full-scale combat simulations take place. Now, let's take a closer look at what makes this TROPEX 25 unique. First is the inter-service coordination. For the first time in this exercise, India's eastern and western fleets operated as a unified maritime force. Specifically, the Western Fleet, based in Bombay, is responsible for securing the Arabian Sea, while the Eastern Fleet, headquartered in Visakhapatnam, focuses on the Bay of Bengal and the broader Indo-Pacific. So, by integrating both the fleets, the Indian Navy demonstrates its ability to conduct the network operations across the vast maritime regions. And now, the second is the carrier-based air power and naval strike capability. So, another key highlight of TROPEX 25 is the role of INS Vikrant. INS Vikrant, which is the India's first indigenous aircraft carrier, played a central role in the exercise, showcasing its power projection capabilities. In addition to that, the advanced military operations were carried out, including the MiG-29K fighter jet missions coordinated with the Indian Air Force aircraft, and also the stimulated maritime strike operations testing real-world combat scenarios, and also the network combat operations integrating naval and air assets seamlessly. Now, the big question is, why is this TROPEX 25 important? So, TROPEX 25 strengthens India's role in regional security and also the global stability. In particular, it reinforces India's commitment to the Quad Alliance, which includes the United States, Japan, Australia, and India, in ensuring a free and open Indo-Pacific. At the same time, TROPEX 25 sends a strong strategic message in response to the China's increasing naval activity in the Indian Ocean region. For instance, China has been deploying spy ships, dual-use boats and also the submarines in the region, raising the security concerns. To counterbalance these threats, TROPEX 25 demonstrates India's ability to deploy a powerful networked military strategy with full operational readiness. Moving forward to the next article, it says that the requirement under Article 22 Clause 1 of the Constitution to inform an arrested person about the grounds of arrest is not a formality but a mandatory constitutional requirement, and failure to do so will render the arrest illegal, said by the Supreme Court. Well, in this context, let's talk about the Article 22, which safeguards against the arbitrary arrest and also the detention. To begin with, Article 22 of the Indian Constitution provides legal safeguards to protect individuals from the arbitrary arrest and unlawful detention. More specifically, it ensures that a person arrested under an ordinary law is granted certain fundamental rights. Now, let's take a closer look at the four key rights guaranteed under Article 22 Clause 1 and Clause 2. First and foremost, an arrested person has the right to be informed of the grounds of arrest as soon as may be. Secondly, they have the right to consult and be represented by a lawyer of their choice. Thirdly, they must be produced before a magistrate within 24 hours of their arrest. And finally, they cannot be detained beyond 24 hours unless a magistrate orders otherwise. And now, who is entitled to these rights? Well, these safeguards apply to both the citizens and non-citizens, ensuring equal protection under the law. However, it is crucial to note that these rights do not apply to the individuals detained under preventive detention laws. Now, let's see the key rights under Article 22 Clause 1 and Clause 2. So, one of the most fundamental rights under Article 22 is the right to know why a person is being arrested. This is important because it allows the accused to understand the charges against them and prepare a defense. Moreover, the arresting authorities must disclose this information immediately unless there are reasonable circumstances that justify a delay. Importantly, this right cannot be waived even if bail is offered. Next is the right to legal representation. Every individual has the right to consult and be represented by a lawyer of their choice. Furthermore, this right was reinforced by the Supreme Court's ruling in the landmark case of Hasinara Khatun versus State of Bihar in the year 1979. Well, in this case, the court declared that free legal aid is a constitutional right under Article 21, ensuring that individuals who cannot afford a lawyer must be provided one by the state. In fact, failure to provide free legal services can even invalidate the trial. Now, another crucial safeguard is that any person arrested must be produced before a magistrate within 24 hours. To clarify this ensures that no one can be detained indefinitely without the judicial oversight. Moreover, the magistrate must evaluate the legality of the arrest and decide whether further detention is justified. While these rights are fundamental, there are two important exceptions under Clause 3 of Article 22. First, these rights do not apply to the enemy aliens, meaning foreign nationals from a hostile country. Secondly, they do not apply to individuals detained under preventive detention laws. The next article says that the Union Cabinet on Friday cleared the new income tax bill that is proposed to replace the existing 6-decade old Income Tax Act. And the new income tax bill is now likely to be introduced in Parliament on Monday, the sources said. In this context, let's look at the key features of the new income tax bill. Know that it removes the long sentences, complex provisions and also the explanations, and the text will be nearly half of the current law, making it easier for the taxpayers and also the administrators. Further, it focuses on tax certainty and reducing disputes. And the recent changes in the tax rates, slabs and TDS, that is a tax deducted at the source, will be incorporated. Now, moving ahead, the next article says that the Union Cabinet chaired by Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi approved the continuation and restructuring of the Central Sector Scheme, that is the Skill India program, till the year 2026 with an overlay outlay of Rs 8,800 crore from the period 2022-2023 to 2025-2026. Now, well, in this context, let's talk about the Skill India program. First, looking at the key components of the Skill India program, the Skill India program, in short the SIP, integrates the following three flagship schemes. They are the Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana 4.0, Pradhan Mantri National Apprenticeship Promotion Scheme and also the Jan Shikshan Sansthan Scheme. Well, now first let's talk about Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana 4.0. Know that this scheme mainly focuses on industry-oriented skill development and also the short-term training programs. Notably, it introduces the on-job training in short-term programs, ensuring that trainees get real-world industry exposure. Additionally, new courses have been introduced in the emerging technology such as artificial intelligence, 5G technology, cybersecurity, green hydrogen, etc. And at the same time, the scheme also adopts blended learning models that incorporate digital content delivery for better flexibility. Furthermore, it promotes cross-institutional collaboration with top academic institutions like IITs and NITs. Notably, the Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana 4.0 also includes micro-credential courses ranging from 7.5 to 30 hours, making skill acquisition easier and more flexible. Moreover, the curriculum is available in multiple regional languages, ensuring better accessibility across India. To further standardize the training, the program also aims to develop 1 lakh accessors and trainers nationwide. Moving on, we have the Pradhan Mantri National Apprenticeship Promotion Scheme, that is the PMNAPS, which focuses on the job vocational training through apprenticeships. More specifically, it targets the individuals between the ages of 14 to 35 years and encourages workplace based on the skill development. Additionally, under the scheme, the government provides a stipend subsidy of 25% up to Rs 1500 per month through the direct benefit transfer. Importantly, the scheme also focuses on emerging sectors such as artificial intelligence, robotics, blockchain technology, etc. Moreover, the special attention is given to micro, small and medium enterprises, that is the MSMEs, aspirational districts and also the Northeast region. Now, moving ahead, let's discuss the Jan Shikshan Sansthan scheme, in short the JSS. Unlike the other two schemes, JSS is a community focus targeting economically disadvantaged groups and also the rural youth and the women. More specifically, this scheme provides low-cost, flexible and accessible vocational training. Additionally, the JSS addresses self-employment and wage-based livelihood opportunities, helping people become financially independent. And at the same time, it includes social empowerment initiatives such as health awareness programs, gender equality initiatives, and also the financial literacy campaigns. Now, let's talk about how this SIP integrates with the national and international frameworks. First and foremost, all certifications under the Skill India program are mapped to the National Skills Qualification Framework. Moreover, these certifications are linked with DigiLocker and also the National Credit Framework, making them easily accessible for the trainees. And another key aspect is that international mobility. The government is actively working on mobility partnership agreements and also the MOUs with other countries to facilitate the overseas employment opportunities for the skilled workers. Additionally, interministerial coordination ensures better execution and streamlining of skill development initiatives across the different sectors. Now, moving to the next article, it says that the government has employed artificial intelligence methods to address various challenges in the agriculture sector to aid the farmers. Now, in this context, let's see the use of artificial intelligence in agriculture for the farmer support. To begin with, the Government of India has adopted AI-based solutions to tackle various challenges in the agriculture sector. More specifically, these AI applications are helping farmers make better decisions, manage crop health, and also minimize the risk related to pest and also the climate change. In addition to that, AI is enhancing the effectiveness of government schemes and bringing precision-driven farming to the forefront. Now, let's take a closer look at the major AI-driven initiatives that are transforming the agriculture landscape. First on the list is a Kisan E-Mitra. Kisan E-Mitra, which is an AI-powered chatbot designed to assist farmers with queries related to the government schemes. More specifically, it helps farmers access information about the PM Kisan Samman Nidhi scheme, ensuring they receive the timely updates about their benefits. Additionally, this chatbot supports multiple languages, making it accessible to the farmers across different regions. Moreover, the chatbot is constantly evolving, and in the future, it will provide guidance on additional government programs and also the agriculture best practices. Now next, let's talk about the National Pest Surveillance System. As we know, climate change has led to increased instances of pest investigations, causing major crop losses for the farmers. To address this issue, the government has introduced an AI-driven pest surveillance system that monitors the crops and detects the pest problems in real time. By using advanced AI and machine learning technologies, this system analyzes large sets of agriculture data and provides early warnings to the farmers, enabling them to take timely action to protect their crops. Essentially, this AI-based system is helping farmers to prevent the crop damage, reduce pesticide overuse, and improve overall agriculture yield. Now, another significant AI initiative is the use of artificial intelligence in monitoring crop health. In particular, this AI system is being applied to major crops like rice and wheat, ensuring better productivity and sustainable farming practices. So, how does it work? Well, this AI powered technology uses the field photographs, satellite imagery, weather data, and soil moisture levels to analyze and monitor crop health in real time. Moreover, by combining these data sources, farmers can receive accurate insights into the soil conditions, early disease detection, and optimal harvesting times. Ultimately, this leads to higher crop yields, reduced wastage, and also the better resource management. Now, moving ahead to the next article, it says that Mumbai reported its first Guillain-Barré Syndrome case on Friday after a 64-year-old Andheri-based resident diagnosed with the rare nerve disorder was hospitalized for the treatment. Well, in this context, let's talk about the Guillain-Barré Syndrome. To begin with, Guillain-Barré Syndrome, or in short the GBS, is a rare neurological disorder that occurs when the body's immune system mistakenly attacks the peripheral nervous cells. So, as a result, it leads to serious nerve damage that affects the muscle movement and in severe cases can cause the paralysis. More specifically, the GBS disturbs the myelin sheath, which is responsible for transmitting nerve signals efficiently. Now, let's talk about the early symptoms of GBS. One of the first signs is a tingling sensation in the legs, which gradually spreads to the arms and upper body. In many cases, patients experience weakness, difficulty walking, and unsteady movements. Furthermore, GBS can lead to facial weakness, pain, and in extreme cases, total paralysis. In severe cases, breathing can become difficult, requiring immediate medical attention. But interestingly, the exact cause of GBS is still unknown. However, research suggests that GBS often develops after infections including cytomegalovirus, Epstein-Barr virus, Zika virus, Campylobacter bacteria, and also the COVID-19. Additionally, in rare cases, GBS has been linked to vaccinations due to immune systems mistakenly responding to the pathogen-like structures in the vaccines. Essentially, the immune system malfunctions, attacking the protective myelin sheath, which leads to nerve inflammation and also the muscle weakness. But unfortunately, there is also no definitive cure, but treatments to manage and reduce symptoms include plasmapheresis, that is the plasma exchange, and also the removal of harmful antibodies from the blood, and also the immunoglobulin therapy, which is the healthy antibodies from the donors block these harmful antibodies, and also physical therapy for pain relief and functional recovery. Furthermore, let's see some of the global context of GBS outbreaks now. In the year 2012-2014, French Polynesia was declared GBS outbreak, where GBS cases surged following Zika virus infections. Similarly, the Peru has experienced the outbreak in the year 2019, which is linked to the Campylobacter. Now, moving to the next article, it says that on a day when National Democratic Alliance MPs, that is the NDA MPs from Bihar, met the Prime Minister Narendra Modi in Parliament to express gratitude for the recent budget announcements for the state, said by the Union Ministry of Rural Development in Rajya Sabha that the centre owed rupees 1,570 crore funds to the state under the Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme, that is the MGNREGS. Well, in this context, let's talk about the Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme, in short the MGNREGS. First and foremost, it is one of the largest work guarantee programs in the world. Launched in the year 2005 by the Ministry of Rural Development, this scheme provides the legal employment guarantees to the rural workers. More specifically, it ensures that every adult member of a rural household willing to do unskilled manual work gets at least 100 days of employment per the financial year. Additionally, the scheme is implemented through Panchayat Raj institutions, making it deeply rooted in the local governance. Now, let's look at the objectives of MGNREGS. Firstly, it enhances the livelihood security of the rural poor by creating wage employment opportunities. Second, it develops a rural asset base to boost productive employment, augment household income, and sustain economic well-being. Now further, let's see the features of MGNREGS. See, the Act grants a legal right to employment for adult members of rural household with at least one-third of beneficiaries being the women. And if the work is not assigned within 15 days, the applicant is entitled to receive an unemployment allowance, where this allowance is one-fourth of the minimum wage for the first 30 days and half for the following period. Importantly, the Gram Sabhas recommends and oversees at least 50% of the projects, and the financial responsibility is shared by the central government, which covers the wages, while the states bear part of the material and administrative cost. Now, moving ahead to the next article, hundreds of olive Ridley sea turtle carcasses have been found since the first week of January in the Chennai and Chengalpattu districts. Conservationists say the number of deaths is 3 times the usual number during the mating season and have sounded alarm bells about bottom trawling, the widespread use of fishing gear, and also the plastic pollution. Now, in this context, let's talk about the olive Ridley turtles. To begin with, the olive Ridley turtles gets its name from the olive green color of its heart-shaped shell, also known as carapace. Interestingly, this species is among the smallest sea turtles in the world, yet they are widespread across the Pacific, Indian and Atlantic Oceans. More specifically, these turtles are carnivorous and are known for their distinctive olive-colored shells, which set them apart from the other sea turtle species. Furthermore, they are best known for the unique mass nestling called the arabida, where thousands of females come together on the same beach to lay eggs. And most importantly, the species is listed as vulnerable in the IUCN Red List, Appendix 1 in CITES and Schedule 1 in the Wildlife Protection Act of the year 1972. Now, let's talk about the olive Ridley turtle conservation. Know that olive turtle conservation project started from the year 2017. During December to March, many olive Ridley turtles come to the western coast of Maharashtra and lay their eggs. These eggs are then guarded by a group of volunteers against predators and poachers. As eggs naturally gets hatched within 40 to 45 days, and the hatchlings will then be released to the sea. Previously, they were either sold in the markets or were destroyed by the dogs. But now, these conservation efforts help the rise of Ridley family. And in this regard, the Olive Ridley Turtle Conservation Festival is celebrated with great vigor. Well, now the last article says that the Supreme Court on Friday continued to hear petitions filed by the Tamil Nadu government raising questions on the scope of governor's power in the legislative process. The state argued that prolonged delay in acting upon bills passed by the state legislature would result in a situation where the system of democracy will fail in this country. And now, let's take a closer look at the key issues under consideration. First, let's talk about Article 200 of the Constitution. So know that under this article, the governor has 3 options when a bill is presented for the assent. First is he grant assent to the bill or withhold assent and return the bill to the state legislature for the reconsideration or reserve the bill for the president's consideration. The key constitutional question before the Supreme Court is, can the governor withhold assent a second time if the state legislature repasses the bill after reconsideration? Now, this becomes particularly significant if the governor did not initially reserve the bill for the president's consideration. And the other issue is whether the governor's power to refer a bill to the President of India is unrestricted or whether it is limited to certain categories of the bills. So the court will examine the practice of a pocket veto where the governor delays or holds assent to a bill indefinitely. Now, the court will also determine if this practice is constitutionally valid in India. Additionally, the Constitution requires the governor to act as soon as possible on a bill presented for the assent but does not set a specific timeline. The court has previously addressed this issue but has not set a clear timeline for the assent. In previous history rulings, that is in the year 2016, Justice Madan Lokar suggested that the governor should not withhold assent indefinitely and must return the bill to the assembly with suggestions or amendments if necessary. And further, in the year 2023, the SC reiterated that the phrase as soon as possible means the governor cannot keep the bill pending indefinitely. Now, Let's understand the constitutional provisions related to this issue. See, Article 200 of the Indian Constitution lays out the governor's power regarding state legislature bills. Importantly, the Constitution envisions the governor as an apolitical entity expected to act based on the aid and advice of the state's council of ministers. However, exceptions exist, particularly in cases involving precedent rule under Article 356, situations where the governor is required to exercise discretion in granting assent to the bills. And now in Tamil Nadu case, the Supreme Court will access whether the governor delays align with the constitutional intent. Finally, let's focus on why this case has become a major legal battle. See, since R.N. Ravi's appointment as governor in September 2021, the Tamil Nadu government has raised concerns about the delays in granting assent to the bills. A particular notable instance occurred in the year 2023 when the governor withheld assent to multiple bills, leading the government of Tamil Nadu to escalate the matter to the Supreme Court. In response, the Governor Ravi referred some bills to the President while withholding assent to the others, intensifying the dispute. Now, the Supreme Court's verdict will have a major impact on governor and also the state relations and the legislative process in India. Well, this concludes our daily current affairs analysis for today, and we'll be back with another current affairs video. Thank you.